season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
Would you say that last week's performance by him workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw here.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll set up a throw. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here comes the Lions punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. That's taken it around the 40.
A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return.
And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
And when you think about great seasons in recent memory, he's definitely putting one together here. There's a good chance he's going to go over 5,000 yards passing for the season. He's just a little bit under that mark coming in. And I tell you, it's pretty rarefied air when you get up there with numbers like this.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season.
And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And partner, I'm going to make a quick pivot here and ask you to play general manager. It's well documented they're last in the league in offense, number 32. What changes might they make?
And this where you have to be almost like a chess master as a general manager, because you have a few things at your disposal that you need to use. Obviously the draft, free agency, maybe you can make some trades, but also look at your practice squad. Have you been grooming players to promote and give them an opportunity to play as well? That way you start to supplement as well as replace guys that need it. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Second and 9 now. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
It's a gain of 8.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
These two division rivals, a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to him on first down.
To the 36-yard line, stop there.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 18. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on it, and they pick up a first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he stopped immediately there.
2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on third. He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down.
Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great play there.
With his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
So the previous pass interference call put the ball at the 1-yard line, and then they stick it in on the very next play.
And I love the play call right there. After you get the pass interference call, you've got a defense that's discombobulated a little bit, right? They're protesting the call, upset about what happened. Go right at them, run the football, and the defense acquiesces, and the ball ends up in the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. That time, a 9-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
This one fielded out to 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game.
And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one. And I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
And, Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end. But you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench, just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up third.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. Fourth down.
So playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now back to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Price.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. They'll set up to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year.
And the Vikings have moved out in front. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office is getting a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, they got the lead, but it's certainly not a big one. And how do you keep control of that lead? Certainly not by that last play there. They gave up a big sack on the first play of this drive. Now it's double the distance to the first down marker.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still right short of sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. You and I have talked about it before, but what about the year this guy's had? You come in as a rookie and in the discussion as MVP.
And people have always told me, running back, one of the easiest positions to break in, but not to this level. If you're talking MVP, that means he's had a sensational season.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown, Vikings. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Vikings go up by 2 touchdowns. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Lions offense set to take over. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
This is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the run book, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Caught by number 10. It's a gain of 9.
2nd and 1.
That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in.
Intended for number 80.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about picking up that one? That was big for them.
First downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. Going for the deep ball.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's got to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
They'll keep it on the ground. Bass, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Bass. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 17-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. You have to be a little careful. You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone.
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes. The last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
2nd and 4. And he's got it. Touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Vikings have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try to get them set up.
Still in the first half here, a long way to go.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This is going to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be
interference. Defense.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 47 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the rest of the game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way. They can use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Complete to number 86. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Vikings 13-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, Barbara, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Their quarterback leading this offense back out. He's been unstoppable in this first half. 4 touchdown passes on the ledger already. Closing in on the all-time record in the first half, by the way, which is 6 touchdown passes as this drive starts 1st and 10.
Well, the drive starts with a completion left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Up the middle they go. Bass. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Position was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Bass. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We both know it's difficult. It's effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they move the ball with relative ease.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He finds his man. Complete. That's Price.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
Sets up 4th down.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his pitch catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He finds his man complete. That's Price. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
Back to throw again. What? And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Lions have recovered. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake in the ball and knock it free.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And taken down just shy of the 40.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd down.
They'll set up a throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lions shaken up.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now back to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Down to about the 32.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 18. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of the defense.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
He'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's
I am.
miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game. So you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And the football going back to the Vikings offense.
And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. And they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think Coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. They're going to look to throw. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did. But poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
Wide open receiver, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 37 yards. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first half lead.
Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have, because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around, they're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return. A scoop and score for the Vikings.
Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how infrequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you aren't inclined to pick this as the game's signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select. This has been nothing short of a clinic. And as noted, we still have a half a ball to play.
Point after, right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Intended for number 43, incomplete.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, and it's complete. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Now the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll kick things off with an NFC East battle between 2 old foes, Philadelphia and Washington. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, let's stay in the Midwest and head down to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. The Chiefs trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. The Texans trying to hold on and claim victory. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And our statistician may need a vacation after this one's said and done. What a first half they had throwing the football. Over 300 yards passing already. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third.
And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And partner, still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Up the middle they go. Bass. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And some room to maneuver. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. The interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Back to throw here. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
A gain of 4 yards. That's good for the Lions. First down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. From the 32 now. Here's first and 10.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Here's a give up the middle. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up second and 9.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
No gain on the play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
And this will not have the distance to get there. Short, no good, just under the crossbar.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
And now out comes Minnesota. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Holding offense.
Don't do us like that!
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series, but the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be a third and about 13.
We see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers and tight ends because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a second and 1 forthcoming. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
A gain of 7. And the Vikings.
They'll first down. It's Bass.
Down inside the 10.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
58 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is